The U.S. Senate is considering an energy bill that would make it a national requirement to blend ethanol with gasoline. The impetus for such a move is to try and reduce U.S. dependence on foreign oil. But farmers and ethanol supporters also see the requirement as one way to add value to the low-priced corn that helps make the alternative fuel. Soybeans are another crop suffering from low prices due to overproduction. But there too, growers are finding ways to add value by capitalizing on the growing market for alternative fuel. John Nichols reports.
Scott Chestnut grows a wide variety of soybeans on 800 acres near Boone, Iowa. In addition to specialty legumes and those grown for seed, he also produces genetically modified and non-GMO beans. While diversity helps him sell into multiple markets, Chestnut claims narrow profit margins are making things tough for soybean producers.
Our production costs have got so high. We as farmers have tried to cut our costs almost to the bare bone now, and anything that we can get to add value to that product is going to be a benefit to us in the future.
Ironically, Chestnut has found a way to add value to his crop and hold the line on costs at the same time. It may not look like it, but he's actually harvesting some of next year's fuel. All of Chestnut's equipment is powered by biodiesel, a clean-burning alternative fuel made in part from his soybeans.
All the diesel fuel we have has some in it. It's worked excellent, provides great lubricity, adds to pump life. It allows our units to run very clean and performs very well.
Chestnut's fuel is processed by West Central Cooperative at its $30 million soy manufacturing plant in Ralston, Iowa. Utilizing locally grown soybeans, the co-op annually processes 170,000 tons of soy plus, a highly absorbable protein used primarily by the dairy industry. While West Central produces a wide range of soy-based products, CEO Jeff Stroberg claims the co-op is betting on biodiesel.
West Central will process about 7 million bushels of soybeans. Not all of that goes into soy diesel right now, but it could be that within the very near future, we could be using virtually all of that oil in soy diesel.
Compared to fossil fuel, converting soybeans to biodiesel is a relatively simple process that squeezes value out of every part of the bean. First, the legumes are crushed, the meal is processed, and the oil is expelled. Next, the gum is removed and processed into lecithin, a food-grade emulsifier. Finally, the glycerin is removed through a process known as methyl esterification. The remaining biodiesel offers several key advantages over traditional petroleum-based diesel. It's non-toxic, biodegradable, and virtually free of sulfur. Biodiesel has the highest energy balance of any fuel, with more than 3 units of energy gained for every unit of fossil fuel used in the production process. And since it's made from agricultural products, biodiesel is totally renewable domestically.
I'm pretty optimistic on the future for it.
Biodiesel can be used as pure fuel or blended with petroleum in any percentage. And like conventional diesel, it requires additives to perform well in cold weather. Since winter temperatures in Iowa frequently fall well below zero, Chestnut runs a blend of 20% soy-based biodiesel in all of his equipment. In other regions, the lean, mean fuel from a bean powers everything from municipal buses to lawnmowers. It's also being used on a trial basis as heating oil. But head out to the desert of Arizona, and you'll find the ultimate testimonial for biodiesel.
We have about 120 vehicles, diesel-powered, all of which we've converted to biofuel, soybean-based, and all of which we purchase out of Iowa co-ops.
Grant Goodman runs Rockland Materials, a Phoenix-based readymix producer with $40 million in annual sales. In January of 2001, with no modifications to any of its vehicles, Rockland began fueling its entire fleet with 100% soy-based biodiesel. Goodman claims he was compelled to make the switch.
The industry has a horrendous track record environmentally. I look at that as a huge opportunity because most people really can't do anything to directly impact the environment one way or the other. It is competitive with power and torque torque and all the other things that go along with it. So it's absolutely irresponsible, in my opinion, not to do it, and that's why we did it.
Like too many American cities, Phoenix has a major air quality problem. The brown cloud hanging over the city is blamed largely on conventional diesel emissions. In contrast, biodiesel is the only alternative fuel to successfully complete the health effects testing requirements of the Clean Air Act. While purchasing biodiesel from a supplier 1,000 miles away adds to his overhead, Goodman claims he can't afford to look solely at short-term costs.
I'm from here, I'll always be from here, and you know, my company and the people that work here do want the best environment for not only themselves, but for their kids.
Burning about 5,000 gallons per day, Rockland consumes more than 1 million gallons of biodiesel annually. While the product does cost more than conventional diesel, the pricing gap is narrowing rapidly. Goodman claims it costs him about $300,000 a year more to power his fleet on 100% biodiesel. Still, he believes in the product and is optimistic that one day biodiesel will cost about the same as its conventional counterpart.
Once I think there's parity in pricing, or even better numbers, it almost becomes a no-brainer. The volumes would increase geometrically.
There is kind of a glut right now of soy oil on the market. By West Central working in these areas and finding other uses in markets, it allows us to use up some of that, increase the value of our soybeans, and it is a great impact on the environment by using renewable resource that we grow every year right here in Iowa.
The United States.
Stroberg claims there's another reason to use biodiesel. By substituting tilling for drilling, the U.S. could lessen its dependence on foreign oil, fuel that may be costing much more than the price at the pump.
I think the events of September 11th probably brought home the fact that we do need to be doing more to provide our own energy needs. And a renewable fuel like soy diesel, I think it's an excellent way to accomplish that goal.
For Market to Market, I'm John Nichols.
Next, the Market to Market report.